Hello and welcome to another episode of Podcast of the Dead, a weekly podcast where we discuss the zombie films of George Romero and their remakes.
And on this podcast, we're not afraid to say the Z word.
Why don't you say it then?
Say what?
Zombies! Here we are, landmark episode 50.
You know, for a series of only 6 movies, I never thought we'd make it this far. But my God, people love to remake and spin off the series.
I mean, Night of the Living Dead alone has somewhere around 30 remakes.
You love to trot out that old chestnut.
Well, you never know when it's going to be someone's first episode.
In that case, let me address you, the hypothetical first-time listener. I know how it is. You're looking for something new to listen to. You start scrolling through the recommended podcasts on Spotify, and you stumble across something called Podcast of the Dead.
Welcome. We're so happy to have you.
No, wait. You click on it. Confirm that it is, in fact, a podcast about one of your favorite all-time topics, the classic George A. Romero of the Dead movie series. It is! You're elated and can't wait to start up that first episode. But dude, because, let's face it, our demographics are 90% male, this is episode 50. We're talking about Zombie 7, Grim Reaper. Go back and listen to episode 1. Unless you're an even bigger zombie fans than we are.
Because Zombie 7 was actually a sequel to Zombie 5 and was followed by Zombie 6. So really the whole month.
We've broken through.
Yeah! Welcome back, guys, gals, and non-binary pals to, well, I guess this is still the Dick Rogers Space Detective podcast, but this month's episode isn't technically a Dick Rogers episode.
Dick has been dethroned! All glory to our brave Captain Xanxus, space pirate! And just like Xanxus took over Dick's show, we took over those zombie N.E.R.D.S show.
For the record, those guys are not members of N.E.R.D.S.
No, they're just normal nerds.
I do feel kind of bad about hijacking their show in either case.
Their show has outlasted its subject matter. They're just going on to go on at this point.
I mean, I'm as big a George Romero fan as the next guy.
And only, guys.
But they lost me when they started diving into the Italian wing of things instead of pivoting to the Living Dead series, which would really make more sense.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are we recording a podcast? You bored me all the way to sleep.
What is with you today, Eleanor? I mean, you're usually a little, well, I'll just say it, disruptive.
Fair.
But you are on a whole new level today. Mocking Mike after talking him into breaking into the audio feed of another podcast just to be thematic?
Oh, this is all thematic. You may look at Captain Xanxus and see a villain, but I see a role model. He really embodies the aspects of my personality that society wants me to hide. So I've decided that today, I'm just going to lean into it. And if that makes you or Skeevy Mike over here uncomfortable, I mean, I'm kind of sorry, but not, like, super sorry.
I guess I can deal with it for one episode, but if we don't get to the point soon...
Don't worry about it. Hit it, Mike.
Don't hit it, Mike. I've got to at least give the audience the bare minimum exposition.
Okay, here it is. Blah, blah, 1951, blah, blah, episode 2 in an experimental story arc, blah, blah, live stream format. Now here's the main event, Captain Xanxus, Space Pirate!
Space, the dark void, the final infinite expanse, the last unknown frontier. It is a place no man can tame, no person can own. This lawless expanse is traversed by all manner of characters, but one man dares face down that void and challenge the dangers that come with it. That man is none other than Captain Xanxus, Space Pirate, riding the dark void of space and conquering any and all in his path. Last time, Captain Xanxus usurped Dick Rogers' Space Detective, managing to literally steal the show out from under him. We join him now as he drinks in his victory.
Alright, so I left my crew to ferry off our new prisoners to the brig where they'll get their little reunion with their missing man, as short-lived as it'll be. My brilliant plan is to sell them all off and make a mint. I suppose if they're lucky, someone will try and buy the whole set, but we'll see about that. Then, give me a sit rep. Where are we at?
We're moments away from loading our cargo, though we did lose a few men during that shootout. And do I need to remind you again that killing your own crew is bad for morale?
He was about to off my prize, under your orders, I might add.
Well, if you had informed me that he was part of the plan, I would have had him apprehended non-lethally.
Then, babe, you know I trust you. Wouldn't have made you head of security and my second in command if I didn't, but this particular secret has to be played close to the chest. I can't risk a single bit of it going awry. Believe me, this will all be worth it. Have I steered you wrong yet?
Yes, frequently. There was the time you got us stranded on the open seas of Centaur 5, or the time we were captured by Duranian cephalopods and partially digested for 3 days. I can go on.
Point proven. But this time, this is our big break. We've got this and we've got it made for life.
You've said that before.
And this time the prize is already in the bag. What could possibly go wrong? Hard part's already over.
You've said that before, too.
Go make sure they get all the cargo loaded and tied down. I don't want another one of those crates smashing open during transit again. The cargo still smells like old Zerka beans. Ven rolled their eyes at me, but leaves to do as I've asked. Ven was never afraid to bust my chops, and I respect that. It's important to keep someone close by who can keep me in check. I'm not so egotistical that I can't recognize that. But leaving them overseeing the crew, I make my way to the bridge. With my prizes secured and most of the invitations sent out, there's one left I have to make personally. I dialed up the frequency and waited for them to pick up.
Xanxus, this better be worth it.
The image of Marcella greeted me on the screen. Imagine an 8-foot-tall bombshell of a total babe, and then imagine she has dark gray skin and horns, and that's Marcella. Certainly no angel, but for the right price, she'll be your devil for the evening. Or at the very least, she knows someone who will. The matriarch of Dardarus 12, an entire red light planet. Seriously, if you can think of it, you can probably find someone who will do it for you there. And on top of that, the planet is one of the most prevalent creators of illicit media. And you can imagine there's one particular star she's been dying to get her hands on and in front of a camera. And then I came along. Trust me, Marcy, it is.
You know I hate it when you call me that. Now get to the point. I'm busy and I have a shoot to direct. And how's my son?
Oh, Sal, he's just fine. I've got him working on a secret project. But tell me something. What's the one thing you've always wanted?
Oh, please. Like you have a party of skilled hunters who are going to track me down like a beast. At least not ones that can properly best me.
No, put a pin in that, but no. I mean, what actor, for your films?
You didn't.
Wouldn't I be calling at such a busy time for you if I didn't?
Dare I ask your price?
Well, I can't make it quite that easy for you. I'm holding a shindig later tonight, and I've got merch to push, and they will be among the pieces up for auction. And I'll even tell you now, I didn't just get him, I got the pair. And with that, she showed me a very toothy grin, like Serious Fang City.
Send me the coordinates and the time. I'll be there.
I look forward to it. I entered the call and shouted the details, and with that done, Ben entered the bridge and took their usual seat. They began the procedure to undock from the station and make our way out into space. Normally a rig like this would require an entire staff to manage, but I'll let you in on a little secret. Then here, my second in command is actually an AI inhabiting a blank art. Some real experimental gift tech stuff, until yours truly liberated them. Now I know what you're thinking, made them trade one cage for another, but I'll have you know they chose to stay on the crew. Truth be told, I wasn't even raiding that facility for them. I was picking up some new weapons the GIF had in development. But ever since then, Ven has become my most loyal and trustworthy officer. Definitely more than most of the mooks I bother to keep aboard, but somebody's got to swab the decks, huh?
And now, time for a word from our sponsor.
Hey, excuse me. Whose name is on the show? Mine, correct. So I get to decide when we play ads, got it? But you're right, it's about time for an ad break, so why don't you run that ad?
Captain, are you okay?
What? Yeah, just dealing with the radio people.
Well, everything's aboard and we're ready for takeoff, Captain. I trust you've notified our usual buyers of our plans for this evening?
Done and done. I just had to make sure to send one particular invite personally.
I will never understand your obsession with that woman.
I know you don't get the fleshy stuff much, but Marcella is a lady you don't just drop an evite to. You want her attention, you have to make a statement. And what better statement than the one thing no one else could give her?
And I suppose you're willing to just hand him over purely out of the kindness of your heart.
Oh, hell no. We're gonna make as much out of this as we can. I need this little nest egg to fund our main venture.
Ah, yes. You and your merchandising venture.
Wait, when did you...
I'm literally your security system. There are no documents you can hide from me, even if you bury them in a file chain labeled "Nothing to see here, move along." But what I don't understand is how you plan to push products you don't have.
See, it goes like this. Now that I've got Rogers' show, I can push ads for whatever we want. That'll drive interest in said products, and then we can make a sweet deal with the manufacturers to manufacture said products. It's a guaranteed success.
You do realize that if you are now in charge of the Dick Rogers show, there's a chance your prospective audience is listening to you right now?
Nah, it'll be fine. This conversation's probably too boring and they'll skip it in the broadcast. They're playing ads right now. Right, Mr. Radio Show Announcer?
Yes, definitely.
Man, breakfast is so boring.
Check this out.
Whoa, is that?
Captain Xanxus Choco Galactic Smash!
With meteors of real chocolate?
Uh-huh. It's the best new cereal ever.
Intergalactic war crimes never tasted so good.
And with every bite coated with space powder, you just can't get enough.
We're gonna need more boxes.
Hurry now to get your hands on the brand new Captain Xanxus Choco Meteor Crunch. Now available at a supermarket near you.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Who are you talking to?
Don't worry about it. Let's hit warp. We've got a ways to go and it'll still take us all day to get there. Once we were far enough away from the station, Ven activated the warp engines and the vast blackness in front of us rushed to meet us. The stars tearing across the view screen. You know what this looks like. You've seen movies, right? What year is it? Has Star Wars come out yet? Yeah, well, your kids will probably love it. Maybe don't let them get too attached to it, though. Once we hit warp speed, we literally ceased to exist in the universe as we know it, the ship slipping between the folds of reality as we traveled at improbable speeds in order to cross the vast reaches of nothingness that is space in any semblance of reasonable time.
We're stable, Captain.
Good! Keep an eye on it, and let me know if anything comes up. I think it's time I make a visit and antagonize our protagonist. The brig was a full house, packed full of merchandise for our little event, primarily rare, exotic, and other highly desirable life forms. Some want exotic pets, others want something they can turn into biological weapons, or something to perform experiments on that are probably illegal. I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to know. What my clients do with these things after they buy them is none of my business. But at the end of the hall, the last 3 cells were occupied by my most valuable finds. First, the Lord of the Lewd, our duplicate Dick Rogers. The only way to really tell the two apart is the hideous mustache this one wears, and yeah, and the 30 extra pounds the other one's packed on, but we'll get to the others.
Ah, Captain Xanxus, have you reconsidered my offer?
Yeah, no, sorry, you're not exactly my type. It's the mustache, if I'm being honest.
How dare you insult my flavor saver?
You're disgusting, and that's something coming from me. Even if that was what I was here for, you're still way too valuable for me inside that cage. I've got a certain lady on call who's had her eye on you for a long time, and I'd much rather be in her good graces than yours, if you catch my drift.
Ooh, Marcella's coming? Well, forget I said anything. If she's interested in a collaboration, it's much better for business to stay put.
Honey, she's coming to buy you. You do realize that.
Well, I think we should at least listen to her offer, dear. She's big business in the industry, and working with her could be good for the brand. I know we've been hesitant to sign up with big labels, but I think we've built up the recognition to keep us from being drowned out by our larger competitors.
As cute as it is to see you try and talk business, now is not the time.
Are you two done?
What are you even here for? To gloat?
Oh, of course not. I'm a caring host, and I wanted to make sure all our guests were accommodated. I mean, I was gracious enough to give you your own cells. I could have crammed you all into one just as easily, or have even made you share one with a carnivorous Rezelfoid. So, we comfy? Anybody want a bag of peanuts? Good. But what I really came for was him. I turned to the last cell, the one containing Dick Rogers' space detective. What was left of him, anyway. Still hasn't said a word since I came down, but I could tell he's been glaring at me the entire time. This was the look of a man who's really had lost everything, and one who so desperately wanted it back. If you're trying to narrate, they can't hear you anymore. It's not your show, remember? It's mine. Let's be honest, yours was circling the drain anyway. If anything, this is a great improvement.
I know you think you've won, but this isn't over. I may not fully understand exactly what it is you've done, but so long as I'm alive, I won't let you do whatever it is you have planned.
Yeah, that's real threatening and all, but once we land at our destination, you three are going to be put up for auction. And as much as I love some big final climax...
You and me both.
Some grand confrontation...
Money shot, if you will.
I swear to God! Some confrontation where we fight each other to the death, the loser swearing bloody vengeance against the victor, or whatever. Real blockbuster stuff. I get it. It's very fun. But you're not that guy anymore. So make this easier for both of us and accept this role in the supporting cast while you still have it, before you become just a floor footnote, and that's if you're lucky, really. And that was when the whole ship lurched hard. Immediately, the Ven's voice came in over my comm.
Captain, we've been tethered. I'm trying to shake them, but they're pulling us in.
How? We are mid-warp. There's only one who'd be stupid enough to try, and that would be... Ah, hell. You three stay put.
Trouble in paradise? Captain?
A speed bump at worst. If anything, this gives me a chance to play with my new toy. To say that I rushed back to the bridge would be an understatement, but I stepped back in as the view screen showed our ship being pulled out of warp back into tangible reality, right into a nebula cluster, no less, as gift ships filled the screen. Ah, they sent an entire battalion for little old me. Gentlemen, flattery will get you nowhere.
We're being hailed.
Of course we are. Might as well answer. They went to all this trouble after all. The screen switched to an image I was all too familiar with. The GIF commander who seemed to have it made their personal vendetta to try and bring me in. I don't remember what their deal is. Oh, you've killed my father, or you vaporized my home planet, blah, blah, blah. You've probably heard it all before. Like I'm supposed to remember every person whose family and friends and homes I kill or destroy. Like, I get it. The day I blew up your city or destroyed their whomever was the most important day of their lives. But for me, it was Tuesday. The only reason I can remember this one is because they won't let me forget. They've been dogging me around the galaxy for years now.
Joseph Cullen, otherwise known as Xanxus, you are hereby officially under arrest.
Hey! We don't use that name anymore. So if you're gonna address me, do it with some respect.
Did I strike a nerve? Good. You are hereby under arrest for innumerable acts of piracy, the destruction of 2 planets, 453 acts of first-degree murder.
That you know of.
The illegal trafficking of sentient life forms, drug trade, illegal weapons dealings, hundreds of accounts of assault and battery, hit-and-run tax evasion, driving without insurance, and 1 unpaid parking ticket.
Oh, you forgot 1 count of being too awesome. Seriously, though, do you have all that memorized, or are you just reading that off a teleprompter?
You are given this one and only chance to surrender peacefully. You are surrounded on all sides. All ships will open fire should you try to resist, fight back, or do anything that isn't surrendering.
Then, send the swarm. With the press of a button, a massive cloud of drones were ejected from my ship, spreading out in all directions by the same ferocity as if they were piloted by an actual person. Their programming had 3 commands: invade, destroy, repeat.
I had a feeling you'd pull something like this.
Admit it, me just giving up would be way too unsatisfying. But let me tell you this, only one of us is walking away today. I disconnected the feed before they could respond, and then spoke into my comm. Sal, you read?
Yeah, I hear you. I assume you're looking to take it for a test drive?
Oh, you know me so well. I'll meet you in the hangar. And while I'm doing that, I think it's about time we heard a word from our sponsors. Me.
Man, wasn't Stevie supposed to be here an hour ago? At this rate, we're gonna be late for our showdown with those mooks from across town. They're gonna think we're total squares.
He said he was picking up something special. Don't worry, he'll be here.
Fellas, check this out.
Stevie, what took you so long? We're gonna be late.
It's gonna be all worth it, guys.
Whoa, is that?
Space Pirate Captain Xanxus Switchblades.
These are supposed to be the sharpest blades ever made. But is it true?
You told me. I just stabbed you like 10 seconds ago.
Oh boy, howdy, you sure did. I didn't even feel it. Those losers won't know what hit them.
You know the captain wouldn't put his name on anything less than the best.
Get your hands on the official Captain Xanxus Switchblades now. The best blades on the market.
Oh man, I'm losing a lot of blood, you guys.
You don't want to know what might happen if you get caught without one.
Going down.
Find this and other Captain Xanxus branded merchandise at your local corner store. And if you don't see the face of our glorious captain on the shelves, then wreck up the joint a little. That'll teach him. And meanwhile, in the bowels of Xanxus' ship.
All right, he's gone. Do it and make it quick. You know, when you said you could pick the lock, I didn't think you were going to do it like that. How are you even doing that? I thought guys like you were, I don't know, bigger?
Hey man, when the augmentation says any size, it means any size. Big or small.
Do you even know what you're doing?
If there's one thing my husband knows, it's how to work something into a hole.
Appreciate it, babe, but I need to concentrate.
So what was that guy talking about? What show?
I wish I knew, but whatever he's on about, I can't write it off. It's not just wild nonsense.
So you think it's true? That this everything is just somebody's entertainment? What does that mean? If it's true, are we even real? Do we even have actual free will? Are our words and actions just dictated by somebody at a typewriter?
I wish I knew, but I've got a gut feeling that he's on to something. He believes that what he's talking about is true. Whatever he's done, he's put himself in charge here. We have to find a way to take it back, to take his power away.
I got it. Hang tight, babe. I'll get yours next.
Just make sure you change it back to normal when you're done. I don't want it getting stuck on travel size like last time. It's bad for business.
Just try and hurry it up. Whatever fight they've gotten into isn't going to last forever. Someone will be coming back here sooner or later.
Can't rush perfection, dude.
Don't I know it.
And we return you to our Captain Xanxus space venture. Already in progress.
So I met with Sal down at the hangar bay, overlooking my brand new ship. And I know you can't see it, but it's nice and angular, super cool, real toyetic. Your kids will love it. And it's got this neat little trick that I won't spoil just yet, but I will say it's going to be the hot holiday item this year.
The Maser cannon is still offline, but the traditional weaponry is fully armed and operational.
Still needs a paint job, though.
Not exactly high on the priority list.
Well, I'll stick out like a sore thumb.
They'll have a hard time hitting you. Even if they do, the shields can take it. But once you...
Let's not reveal that surprise just yet.
Yeah, whatever. It's ready to launch when you are.
The ship shuddered as we apparently took a hit. Well, now seems a good a time as any. I climbed up into the cockpit and strapped in, flipping switches as the ship came to life. The lights along the hangar came on as the launch bay depressurized. With the press of a button, I launched out into the void, into the storm of fighter ships, drones, and laser fire. My targeting screen lit up with enemies as I opened fire, feeling the feedback of the guns firing as I quickly laid waste to GIF ships in my wake, basically doing warm-up laps as I turn, twist, and spin, shooting down ship after ship, and showing off what this bad boy can do.
Captain, their flagship has us targeted with an ion cannon. If it hits, it'll tear right through us. At the current rate of charge, we have 45 seconds until they fire. We do not have time to mount a defense.
I set my sights on the GIF flagship, a battalion class, a real big brood of a ship. Takes an entire planet's population of crew. Hey, radio dude, how about a countdown? Make it nice and dramatic. I hit the jets as hard as I could, rocketing through space towards the enemy ship,
29.
tearing through anything that made the mistake of crossing
28.
my path. As I flew, I flipped a few
27.
switches, activating this baby's trump card.
26.
Various parts of the ship shift and change positions as it
25.
transforms, no longer a sharp and
24.
sleek space fighter, but a wicked-looking mechanical
23.
dragon. Wings made of hard light clusters came to
22.
life as I cut through the distance between me and the GIF
21.
battalion. 10 seconds left as I fly
10.
into the forward cannon, seconds away from
9.
firing as I use the wings, claws, anything
8.
the mech has to do as much damage as possible.
7.
I suddenly crashed through the other end, shattering the
6.
diamond lens as well as destroying the firing
5.
turrets, causing them to
10.
backfire their charge and rupture the cannon's power source. From there, I tore my way into the interior of the ship, breaking through hulls and interior chambers as I made my way up. The mech turns and spirals as it shreds the ship's metal walls and finally breaks through the top of the ship, landing and looking up at the bridge where I know Anderson is waiting. I gotta admit, even I was sweating a little. The mech gave off a shrieking roar that managed to cut through the usually silent void of space, mostly just for intimidation factor, if we're being honest. But I hailed Anderson hoping to gloat. His image came on, silhouetted by red warning lights and displays of the damage I'd caused.
I don't suppose you're calling to surrender.
Giving you a chance to walk away.
How suddenly noble of you.
He pressed a button and 4 turrets rose up from the hull of the ship, all targeting me. Yeah, I'd prefer it this way anyway. The turrets fired as I lifted up off the hull. They kept firing as I shot forward, reaching out and crashing into the bridge. What was left of the crew panicked as the bridge quickly depressurized. I made sure to grab Anderson with the mech's hand and pull him out into space. I watched, grinning to myself as they struggled and ultimately died. The ship beneath me shuddered and rocked as more explosions destroyed it from the inside, unable to keep itself together. I dropped Anderson's body and the other GIF ships started to disengage once they noticed their commanding officer had been killed, and they realized they're not going to win this one. Then, finish anything that's left off with our big gun. No prisoners.
You'd better get clear then.
I'm on my way back. I made my way back to my ship as the bottom opened up, unveiling a weapon about the size of the ship itself. My personal trump card, the negative ion graviton cannon. Powered by a black hole generator, it took aim and charged up before firing a concentrated beam that erased anything it hit from existence. It made quick work of the stragglers as my mech transformed back and docked with the ship.
A successful test run, I presume?
Oh, she handles like a dream. Can't wait to see it when it's fully done and painted.
I'll get right on that. Black and red, right?
You know my colors. You coming to the party tonight? You know your mom's gonna be there.
Thanks, I'll pass. I want to run a diagnostics check after your test flight. That, along with tune-ups and paint prep, will take all night.
Yeah, probably for the best. I don't think you want to watch me hitting on your mom all night.
Well, best of luck with that, Captain.
I left Sal to his work and returned to the bridge, taking my seat in the captain's chair. All right, Ben, what's the damage?
Minimal. Shields took most of the damage, and the few hits we did take will not impede us.
Excellent! Now let's get back on course. We're going to be late at this rate.
Yes, Captain.
We made our way through the debris field and activated the warp drives once more. Space stretched out around us as we slipped back into the veil beneath reality, back into the void. It's probably long enough for an episode, right? Yeah, well, it's going to have to be because I'm tired. Narrating is hard. I don't know how anybody else does it. While we're on our way out, let's get another word from our sponsors. Once again, me.
what you want. You won't get me to talk.
Yes, that's what they all say.
It doesn't matter anyway. The intel is already out there. You can't stop them.
Maybe. Maybe not. We want to know who you told. Now, hold still. We're just going to trim that facial hair a little. Now, you may have noticed, this is one of those new Xanxus brand razors. Nice and effective at getting those thick hairs. One of the closest shaves you'll ever have, if you know what I mean. But you've got to have a steady hand, or else.
It was Mickey Cody.
Now see, that wasn't so hard. Almost as easy as the shave you'll get from a Xanxus brand razor. Oops. Dear, guess my hand slipped.
That's right, folks. From the same people who brought you the Captain Xanxus Switchblade comes the official Captain Xanxus Straight Razor. Get that perfect clean shave every time. Product definitely only intended for shaving purposes. What should people do with them after purchase is none of our business. What awaits our heroic captain? Only one way to find out. Tune in next time on Captain Xanxus Space Pirate.
All right. Nobody move unless you want a face full of laser.
Show's over, Xanxus. Whatever you've done, we're taking it back now.
Oh, if only it were that easy, Dick.
Well, why don't you just let the people decide?
What?
Well, yeah, remember when that Hollow comic series, The Space Crusader, had that one sidekick character that nobody liked? Space Cadet? The writers orchestrated an event where Space Cadet was in this big space explosion and put his fate up to reader votes. You could do something like that.
Honey, I'm not sure anyone else in this room even knows what that is.
You idiot. You forget I'm still in control of the show. I'm not just gonna let you...
You heard right, folks. The fate of the program is in your hands.
Hey!
Who shall be our leading man? If you want the show to forever be Dick Rogers, Space Detective, call 555-3425. And if you prefer Captain Xanxus, Space Pirate, call 555-9297.
You son of a...
Loading lines will be open for 1 week. Then tune in the week after, same space time, same space channel, to find out the fate of Dick Rogers and company. Until next time, true spacers.
Pew, 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 pew. Take that, you gift scum.
So that was Eleanor's personal hero, Captain Xanxus' big break.
The simple fact that Dick Rogers continued after this episode could only have two possible explanations.
Which are?
Number one, people in the 1950s had no, and I mean literally no, taste. I mean, come on.
And number two?
He was robbed. WPN stuffed the ballot box. They should have gotten UN peacekeepers to investigate the outcome of the listener call-in poll.
Interestingly enough, according to a rumor that our source heard, that is what Xavier Zappa claimed.
Say no more. I mean, really, stop talking. I'm joking.
Okay, this was certainly a fun script and all, but you're really getting out of hand, Eleanor.
Yeah, let's wrap this one up before anyone gets their feelings hurt.
Whatever.
Thank you again for joining us for this month's episode of Dick Rogers, Space Detective. How about giving us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Podchaser?
And if you meet anyone who hasn't listened, I want you to grab them by the collar. Literally. Bring them close to your face and whisper to them. Dick Rogers, Space Detective, is the best podcast in the galaxy. Those sweet, sweet nerds are bringing you the finest entertainment money can buy, and they're not even making you pay for it. The absolute least you can do is subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And follow them on social media. Mike?
We're on Facebook at Dick Rogers Pod, on Instagram at Dick Rogers Space Detective, and Twitter at Rogers Space. And you can join the nerds on Patreon at patreon.com/space _detective.
And that will make it much easier to join us for your next dick appointment. Same time, same space, place. And, Joanna, I'm about to blow your mind. A dick appointment is like a booty call. It's like a sex joke, and you've been saying it the whole time. Feel my raw and unfettered power!
Dick appointment? I don't get it.
Oh, hit the credits.
This episode's nerds are Wendy Willard as Joanna, Ven, Street Tough Kid 1, and Person 2. Angela Ventris as Eleanor, Janet Rogers, Salvamir, and Kid 1. Michael Storm as Mike Nutley. Logan Wright as Xanxus. Jessica De Maria as Dick Rogers Space Detective, Marcella, and Kid 2. Emily Anderson as Announcer, Anderson, and Stevie. And Nicholas Johnson as Dick Rogers Porn Star, Street Tough Kid 2, and Person 1. Captain Xanxus Space Pirate was written by Logan Wright. Sound design by Michael Storm. Music by Nicholas Johnson. Audio editing by Nicholas Johnson.